Hello, I'm urologist Omer Erda. Today I will briefly talk about the breakdown after taking anabolic steroids. We have not done videos on anabolic steroids in a long time. The reason I want to do this video is because people who have taken testosterone boldenone come with complaints of erectile dysfunction during the cycle for the last 3 to 4 months. In other words, erectile dysfunction does not occur when you are in testosterone boldenone cycle. In the last 3 to 4 months, about 10 people have come forward with this complaint. We honestly do not know why. The blood tests of the individuals were also compatible with the anabolic steroids they were using. Of course, after all, the use of anabolic steroids is a risk-based business, all risks must be considered. So why do breakdowns occur when using anabolic steroids? There are two types of breakdown. Firstly, anabolic steroid users who reach very high free testosterone levels experience high dopamine levels with high testosterone. They reach levels that can never be reached under normal physiological conditions. And during the descent, even if it goes back to more normal levels, the person slowly starts to fall below that level of pleasure anyway. They lose the dopamine levels they used to have. This leads to falling below the normal physiological level. During this period, if the patient does not use something like PCT to increase FSH/LH, it gets worse. But of course, even if it is not bad, he never reaches the vitality that a strong erection with high testosterone brings. This problem does not occur in everyone, of course. Testosterone does not decrease in everyone. It occurs in very few people, especially if the person's mental state is fluctuating, if the person gets depressed quickly, if they are struggling, if they are someone who gives up quickly, and if they like to label themselves. What do I mean by labeling themselves? Just because there is a possibility to experience erectile problems after quickling anabolics, they think that they will definitely experience those problems. The person can cry for hours in their room. Apart from that, of course, patients can have very different clinical pictures. For example, he took trenbolone 3 years ago and has been suffering from erectile dysfunction for 3 years, but all of his blood tests are normal. Another patient took Decabolin a year ago and came to see me a year later and still has very low testosterone, FSH and LH levels every month. There are also patients who come with such strange pictures. As I said, if you drive a very good car, if you live in a very good house, you will be in a worse car for some time after the anabolic cycle. And finally, this is called a public health problem abroad, friends. In a study conducted 6 to 7 years ago in the USA, it was found that there were 4 million anabolic steroid users. There are 4 million anabolic steroid users, excluding those who receive TRT and those who receive testosterone replacement treatment under physiological conditions. Of course, because the purchasing power is higher there, they can get these drugs more easily. And people start taking them for 12 months. When you start taking it for 12 months, it kind of gets the name drug addiction. In the Netherlands, special clinics for stopping the anabolic cycle have been opened in public hospitals. It is really not easy to take anabolic steroids for many years and then stop. Because, in fact, a person enters a great void. It's like taking the adrenal glands. If you take the adrenal glands, the person dies. So this is a risk-based event, not something that you buy and use arbitrarily to get a nice body on the beach in the summer. They are really, really harmful things and they are very risky. Best regards, and thank you very much for listening.